Pinky?
I used to have a bear named Pinky as a child.
Welcome, Pink Floyd fans.
Close enough.
This is our second album doing Pink Floyd. We're music for busy people. That's Dev waving to you.
Hi.
This is Mike not waving to you. Okay. Hi.
Wave.
Today we are embarking on another classic Pink Floyd album. Wish You Were Here. Well, today we're going to be listening to the first song, Shine On You Crazy Diamond, parts 1 through 5.
Holy. 1 through 5?
Yeah, but they're short parts. Before we listen, as we usually do, a little backstory and looking at the album art, and then we'll get into music. Okay.
Album art.
So this album sold well. This is the one after Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh.
This came out in 1975.
Okay.
I think David Gilmour, who's the guitarist, if you don't remember, has said that this is his favorite album. But the sessions were difficult because they were going through tough times.
Oh.
They were starting to have tension.
Sure.
They were pretty burned out after Dark Side of the Moon, I think. And then Nick Mason, who's the drummer, he was having marital problems. And they just were getting less tolerant of each other. So they were difficult recording sessions. But the end product is amazing.
Yeah, I do think that a little bit of tension goes a long way when you're doing something creative. You know, it puts an extra layer of fuel to something that could be like, give it a little nudge.
Plus, I think just success gets to you. The egos start to grow into the picture. So the album originally came in a black wrapper, so you couldn't see the album, like a black shrink wrap with just a sticker on it.
So they're just a giant tease. That's neat, though.
Yeah. This is supposed to represent a handshake. It looks like robots. No, I think it's more like an empty handshake, like because this album is very critical of the music industry.
Oh, no. But it has the 4 different quadrants, too, in that sticker. I find that interesting. Like air, water, earth, fire, that kind of thing. Uh-huh.
This is the cover. Another handshake between businessmen. Now, the one guy's on fire. I think that has something to do with getting burned in the sense that either you could get burned if you let people know what you're thinking, or
he didn't read the fine print.
Or there was another thing in the music industry, I think, about getting burned out of your royalties.
Oh.
And that's the back cover. So you got a faceless salesman, an empty suit.
He's an empty suit.
It's something to do with...
That's a great picture.
Yeah, it is a cool picture. Now, when you took the album out, it was in a jacket. I think there's a couple of variations of this. I think that there's supposed to be a naked lady in the veil, but I can never see it. And then the other side of the jacket had lyrics and a picture, which also came on a postcard. It has a postcard, like Wish You Were Here.
I see the person now doing a handstand in the water. That's great.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's doing a handstand or if that's supposed to be like somebody in the middle of a dive? That isn't making a splash. I'm not sure. Roger Waters, like the last album, wrote all the lyrics to this album as well. And the lyrics were on the album, hon, so you get to watch the lyrics as we listen. Are you happy about that?
Yep.
Good. So they had been playing this song on their 74 tour before they went into the studio and recorded it, so they got to play with it on the road. And the album actually is split. The first part of the song is like the beginning of the album, and then it ends with like several parts to the song at the end of the album. So it like bookends the album. And I think that maybe it was David Gilmour or somebody didn't like the idea of splitting it, but he was outvoted. It was a tribute to Syd Barrett, who, as we said earlier, was having mental problems and sort of became a recluse at the end of his life. And they didn't really see him much anymore. So on the final day of mixing, and like they were wrapping up this song, it turns out David Gilmour was married on that day. So I guess he got married. Then they went in the studio and like mixed, wrap up the song, and then he was going to have a reception later. But when they were in the studio finalizing the song, Syd Barrett shows up, and they didn't even recognize him at first.
Oh,
yeah, just coincidentally. I mean,
that's great.
So the day he decides to show up is they're working on a song that's about him. They hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and he was overweight and his head was shaved. And then they were kind of shocked when they realized who it was. And then after that, they never really saw him again.
Wow.
Just another side note, Dick Parry, who played saxophone on Dark Side of the Moon, returns for this song. He plays some sax on this song as well. So we're going to be putting out 2 versions of this video, one in stereo and one using surround sound.
Because we special like that.
Because I have heard the surround sound mix of this years back, and I remember thinking it was friggin' amazing. So if you have a surround sound set up, I recommend that you switch to that video and listen in surround sound. Here we go with Shine On You Crazy Diamond, parts 1 through 5.
I'm currently watching the Earth come up over a space station.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. There she is, the blue planet. I just want a giant pillow to lean into and yeah, that's really pretty.
Cool solo helps. Another cool solo. A solo like that.
Remember when you were young? You shone like the sun. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Now there's a look in your eyes, like black holes in the sky.
Jeez.
Shine on, you crazy diamond.
go, man.
I would have loved to have electrodes all over my brain, seeing what parts of my noggin were lit up during certain parts of that song.
I haven't heard that in a bit, but that's been one of my favorite songs of theirs.
It's an interesting song. I like it. It's obviously brilliant. I went to Storyland, y'all. I went to Storyland and I didn't want to come back.
I think for me, it's the guitar solos, because there's like 3 or 4 guitar solos in there. Short, but very effective. And they're sort of like lead vocals in a way. Mm-hmm. And then when he's singing, they're sort of like backing vocals. Mm-hmm. The guitar is very expressive, and that's what I find, I think, the most moving about that. It takes a while to get started. There's that very slow synth intro. And I think I used to skip over that part when I was young because I wanted to get into the guitar and stuff. In the last part, during the sax solo, the tempo like doubles. Like it's going 6/8, and then it becomes all of a sudden it's like twice as fast.
Yes.
12/8 instead of 6/8. It definitely feels faster. Feels like double time. And he changes the sax. Like he's playing a baritone sax for the beginning of the solo. And then all of a sudden in the fast part, he's playing a tenor sax.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of cool. That makes sense. You ramp it up and you play a higher register sax.
I thought of that during the listening of that song too. Just somebody flipping a switch.
I love some pieces like that. I mean, those are like 5 movements.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Let's listen to a short clip of a cover song from 2001. This is a band called Clawfinger. Okay.
Cool.
I'm just skipping the intro. We're right into part 2.
Like a James Bond film. I take that back.
Okay. Oh, no.
Totally take that back. Totally. I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it, but it's totally ripped it apart.
Remember when you were young? You shone like the sun.
Not terrible.
Shine on, you crazy diamond.
It's just a little too loud. Interesting. I definitely, of course, prefer the Pink Floyd version, but if I was into that kind of music, there's nothing wrong with that song. I think when a song has good bones, you can change it around a lot and still it could be a good song. But there's no way you'd ever get me to listen to that version over the Pink Floyd version. A quick thank you to our patrons.
Thanks, patrons.
Those lovely people whom we could not do this channel without. We can't really monetize these videos, so their support is greatly appreciated. If you haven't checked out our Patreon, here's the information. We have extra videos there for our patrons. It's a lovely community. So come on by. We also appreciate your comments and your likes. And sharing the videos helps. All those things are greatly appreciated. And you know what else is greatly appreciated? Guess what?
Liking and subscribing.
Subscribe, please. We need subscribers still, of course. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do it. We would appreciate it. And if you'd like to leave us a one-time tip, here's how you can give us a donation through PayPal or the thanks button in some of our videos.
And we really appreciate it, and it just makes us happy. That little glowy happy.
And any donation of $5 or more will get recognition in our next video.
That too.
I was happy to re-explore that song again. I haven't heard it in so long, and it was one of my favorites as a young boy. Thanks, guys. We'll see you for Welcome to the Machine next video.
All right.
Later.
Bye. I wonder if they had inspirations like that, like Mozart, Beethoven, Bach. It did.